Freedom Radio.
National Examination Council releases 2022 results as it blacklists 29 supervisors. Kano College of Legal Studies prepares to start degree programs. Correspondent reports on World Heart Day. And on the foreign, senior Rwandan accused of financing genocide on trial.
This is Freedom Global News.
Good evening, you listen to Freedom Global News on 99.5 FM. I am Hauwa Adamu Kiyawa. Today is the 29th of September 2022, which is equivalent to the 3rd of Rabiul Awwal 1444 after Hijri. And now the news in full. The National Examinations Council has released the 2022 Senior Secondary School Certificate Examination results. The NECO Registrar, Professor Ntani Wushishi, announced the results today at the NECO headquarters in Minna, Niger State. Aside from the results, Wushishi said the council blacklisted 29 supervisors for their alleged involvement in various malpractice offences. He also said 4 schools were recommended for recognition for 2 years over consistent malpractices. Meanwhile, Wushishi revealed that the council recorded a decline in malpractice in the 2022 Internal Senior School Certificate Examination as against other years. According to him, the decline in malpractice during the examination was appreciable. The federal government has declared Monday, October 3rd as a public holiday to mark the nation's 62nd independence anniversary celebration. The Minister of Interior, Rolf Arebeshola, while making the declaration on behalf of the federal government, congratulated all Nigerians on the celebration and assured of the government's commitment to tackling all of the challenges facing the nation and bring smiles to the faces of all the people. The provost of Malam Aminu Kano College of Legal Studies here in Kano says the school is preparing to start degree programs. Professor Balarabi Abubakar Jakada stated this during the matriculation ceremony of fresh students who have been admitted to the school. He added that he urges the incoming students to concentrate on their studies.
Well, government under the leadership of His Excellency Dr. Abdullah Maganduje Kaimul Islam al-Ilm is making a giant effort, in transforming the whole education sector of the state. This is, actualized through the, formation of committee of experts that will look into the programs run by various institutions, where visitation panel first took place last year, and in this year, committee of experts was formed, this college was visited, and recommendations were made on how the college should be, upgraded to a higher status.
The Commissioner of Kano State Ministry of Higher Education, Dr. Maria Bunkuri, who was represented by the Director for Planning, Dr. Musa Gambo Sharifai, stated that the government is ready to contribute to the development of the school.
Well, I particularly thank, the Executive Governor, Dr. Abdullah Umar Ganduje, OFR, for always being with us. The Kano State government has done quite a lot of things, to this institution, and is always standing by us.
Correspondent Hafsat Abdullahi Anladi reports that the director also called on students to abide by all the school's rules and regulations. And in the sporting arena, the federal government has called on stakeholders in the Nigerian football family to remain calm and abide by the court order by not doing anything or taking any further steps, particularly as regards to the NFF elections scheduled for tomorrow in Benin, Edo State. Mamatan Uba has details of this and other sports updates.
The Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Youth and Sport Development, Ismaila Abubakar, gave the advice today in a statement issued in his office in Abuja. In the statement signed by Mohammed Manga, the Director Press and Public Relations, Ministry of Youth and Sport, Abubakar said the ministry was not ignorant of the recent developments concerning the elected Congress of NFF that is scheduled to take place tomorrow. He also said the ministry is seeking a resolution to the development. Abubakar also reiterated that the Minister of Youth and Sport, Sunday Dare, will obey and abide by the court order as the office of the Minister of Youth and Sport Development as had defendant in the case under reference. Meanwhile, the Court of Appeal has given the Nigeria Football Federation the green light to hold its elected Congress tomorrow. In the judgment delivered today, the Court of Appeal told the NFF it could go ahead with the poll on September 30. In another update, Denmark will wear torn-down shirt for the World Cup to protest against host Qatar's human rights record and its treatment of migrant workers. Kit provider Hummel has also designed a fat all-black kit to represent the color of mourning. And on tennis, British #1 Cameron Norrie cruised a 6-2 victory over Japan's Keiji Ochida to reach the quarterfinals of the Korea Open. The 27-year-old broke two of his opening service games in each set to progress. The Briton, who is seeded 2 at the tournament, will face either Korean #1 Kwon Sung-woo or American Johnson Brooksby. Muhammad Sanuba, Freedom Radio.
The global news is coming to you from Freedom Radio 99.5 FM. You can send your comments, opinions, and watch us live on Freedom Radio Nigeria on Facebook.com. You can get the link to the page on our website, freedomradionig.com, or call us through this number, 082 444163. Welcome back. You're still listening to Freedom Global News on 99.5 FM. Every year on the 29th of September, people all around the world observe the celebration of World Heart Day. The day is celebrated in order to draw attention to the causes of cardiovascular illnesses and their management and how to use the heart for humanity and nature. Correspondent Aisha Adiugisu takes a look at the importance of the day and files in this report presented by Haider Aliyu Isa.
World Heart Day was founded in 2000 to inform people around the globe that cardiovascular disease and stroke are the world leading causes of death. Cardiovascular disease include any disorder, abnormality, or failure to function well relating to the heart and blood vessels or the circulation. In 2013, cardiovascular disease caused an estimated 17.3 million deaths and led to the 330 million disability, adjusted life years lost. A consultant and cardiac surgeon at Aminu Kano Teaching Hospital, Dr. Jamil Ismail Ahmad, highlights the main causes of cardiovascular disease.
Before, people used to exercise more. We tend to eat natural foods, but then people don't smoke and take alcohol. But then later, there's some behaviors, because now people tend to eat less of healthy foods, and we take a lot of junk foods which contain a lot of cholesterol.
Dr. Jamil also explained how to prevent cardiovascular disease.
First, during the first trimester, that's the first 3 months, is the most important time that the mothers have to be careful. So avoid taking all unnecessary drugs and unprescribed drugs, including traditional medication and even the orthodox hospital-based medication. So any medication you are taking, it has to be certified by a doctor, and then it's certified that it doesn't have any effect on the child.
The theme for this year's World Heart Day is Use Heart for Every Heart. Haider Aliyu Isa, Freedom Radio.
The The Federal College of Education and Technology, BITCHI, has called all teachers of science and technology to focus on providing students with ample skills of science and technology. The provost of the school, Professor Bashir Muhammad Fagi, made this known yesterday at the fourth lecture of the school on how to search for alternative hands on the instructional strategy for the NCE technical program in Nigeria.
It's a peak lecture that happens once in lifetime as a chief lecturer. It's like trying to present your contribution you've done to education so that at least the larger community, your colleagues, and anybody that comes across the work can actually use it and make his work easier. Especially this time around that we are trying to talk of strategies that will improve on hands-on activities, hands-on skills. That is the area we want to see how our colleagues and everybody will be able to use what we have discussed, and it will be very effective in his work.
In his remark, Dr. Bashir Sabo Abubakar, who led the lecture, explained ways to enhance science and technology.
The research experience, long-standing research experience of a chief lecturer over the period of his stay, and provide a solution to an identified problem that can easily be implemented for the development of education in the country. That is the objective of the inaugural lectures. What we have experienced today is the fourth inaugural lecture of the institution, of the college, which was delivered by Dr. Bashir Sabo Abubakar. And the topic he chose for the lecture was search for alternative hands-on instructional strategy for the NCE technical program in Nigeria.
Correspondent Umar Abdullahi Shika reports that the lecture was attended by senior lecturers of the school. And on business, we have Muhammad Abdullahi with updates.
The Debt Management Office (DMO) says the public debt stock of Nigeria at about 18.4 trillion naira is still within acceptable limits and sustainable. The Director General of DMO, Patience Oniha, said this in a presentation at the Executive Course on Budgeting and Fiscal Transparency in Abuja. Oniha said Nigeria's debt to gross domestic product (GDP) ratio remains among the lowest globally, noting that while Nigeria's debt to GDP ratio was 23.06%, some countries are higher like Angola 136.54%. South Africa 69.45%, Ghana 78.92%, United States 133.92%, and United Kingdom 104.47%. According to the debt management expert, Nigeria's borrowing was still healthy even as development countries borrow. Meanwhile, the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has started winding down its Special Intervention Fund with a promise to recover every kobo disbursed as part of its gradual tapering campaign. The Apex Bank said it has closed the door to the funds, except those that are still very critical to the economy, such as the ones relating to small and medium-scale enterprises and power. The Monetary Authority stated that 3.7 trillion naira has been recovered so far out of 9.3 trillion naira disbursed as of yesterday. About 5 trillion naira, according to the Director of Development Finance, Dr. Yusuf Vila, is not yet due for repayment. Muhammad Abba Abdullahi, Freedom Radio.
And the Foreign Senior United Nations Tribunal in The Hague has opened the genocide trial of a Rwandan businessman captured 2 years ago after decades on the run, with judges saying the hearing must go on despite the suspect's decision to boycott it from his jail cell. Abdurrahman Hamza Medina reports.
Felician Kabuga, a former businessman and radio station owner, is one of the last sought by the tribunal prosecuting crimes committed in 1994 genocide, when ruling Hutu majorities fighters killed.
Okay, keep it that way. We apologize for the technical difficulties, and with this we've come to the end of today's global news. But before we go, highlights of the major stories. The National Examinations Council has released the 2022 Senior Secondary School Certificate Examination results.
Global news.
The federal government has declared Monday, October 3rd as public holiday. The provost of Malam Aminu Kano College of Legal Studies says the school is preparing to start degree programs. And on World Heart Day, every year on the 29th of September, people all around the world observe the celebration. On behalf of the entire production team, I am Hauwa Adamu Kiyawa. Have a wonderful evening.
This is Freedom Global News.
Freedom